This is Matthew Talverty from World Baseball Network here at the New York Pro Scouts Association dinner tonight at right in Long Island on Massapequa. Right beside me is Anthony McCarron of SNY, freelance writer. Anthony, how does it feel to be here tonight?
Great. I love this event. I come every year. I feel it. To me, it's the winter baseball social event of the season. I love seeing the scouts. They are so knowledgeable, and I really lean on them to learn about the game and the way it's played and the way it's evaluated. So, a celebration of this and a night of some nice awards is really great, and I love coming out to it.
What's your advice to give certain people that are coming up in the media world, whether it's journalism, production, and along other walks of life through this career, Phil? What would you think about yourself as a young kid and just coming up and working for the Daily News and just seeing the different landscape of the sport of how it's been the last decade or plus that you've been in the field?
Well, look, I have been in baseball, in sports media for a long time. The business has changed a great deal in my time in it. And when I was younger, I could never have envisioned any of these kind of opportunities. I was a newspaper only guy, worked for several different papers, including the Daily News. And I never thought about going on television. I never thought that would be something that would be available to me. And it is, and it's great. And I love it. And I think one of the big things, the big piece of advice that I would give to people who want to be in the business is do everything. You can't just think to yourself, when you're young and you're learning the media business, I'm going to be a writer or I'm going to be on TV. Do all of it. If somebody wants you to write something, do it, because that's a valuable skill. And talking about sports is a big deal. Obviously, podcasts, social media, everything. So don't close the door on any opportunity.
So forward out with your response. With World Baseball Network, where we cover 88 professional leagues, and outside of the landscape of the Caribbean leagues, NCAA, Division I, and also what's coming out around the prospect pipeline from all circuits of the college dilemma here, how do you just feel about where the game is growing and also the media forefront of what prospectus work is in journalism or just media sides through all the 30 organizations?
Where baseball is today?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, I think it's in a great spot. There's a lot of attention that it's getting, obviously. The sport is loved, certainly by people who are my age, and younger. I think younger people, more so than maybe in more recent years, are sort of embracing it as well. I think social media has been a big part of that. I think the fact that the players are so amazing right now at the highest level, there's so much to like about watching the sport and reading about it and just consuming it, that I think that the future is unlimited. It's obviously a worldwide sport nowadays.
Yeah.
Ichiro going into the Hall of Fame is a big part of that. And what he has done for sort of the global expansion of baseball. I think it's in a great spot. It's a great game. I know it's changed. I know there are a lot of people out there who say, baseball isn't what it used to be, but baseball is pretty darn great.
And just this past season, the Mets falling short in 6 games of the Dodgers in the NLCS. How do you just feel about either the rally cries? You had Grimace, Hawktua. You had so much angles. Every day of your, journalism work too, to just cover that notion. And how do you just think about going out of Port St. Lucie and then some of the coverage that you didn't know what to expect, right? From the promotion nights, and then now, last month and a half, you have Juan Soto for 15 years possibly. What's it like to see what has Steve Cohen done to the organization?
Well, it's been very impressive. I think that the Mets are in a different place than they've ever been before. I love the sense of fun that was around the team. Not only...
Oh my God, I forgot. Oh my God. Jose Iglesias, we forgot. We forgot about that.
It's baseball.
Yeah, besides Hawktua and Grimace.
Right. So there was a lot going on to love. So even if you were a casual baseball fan, you could get into it. And look, I think they're really talented. They're really good. I love the fact that they've added Juan Soto because he is tremendous. And I think they're going to be a National League powerhouse for years. Now, look, the Dodgers have taken some pretty significant steps this winter. They're still the big bad in baseball right now, and that's okay. The Mets have something to aspire to. I wish that they would sign some more players right now as we stand at this point in the winter to sort of combat what the Dodgers have done, because ultimately that's who you're competing with if you want to get to the World Series. But I think the Mets are in a great place overall. And look, they've got a lot of good young players that people are excited about. They've got some stars on the roster. So it's all good. And, you know, as we said, they added a sense of fun last year that I think was really important to the way their fans embraced the team.
What did it mean to witness Doc Gooden and Darryl Strawberry being retired by the Mets organization, regardless of how the fitting was and certain disparities that worked through the prior ownership days? How do you just feel about just their open arms that they either give to the community or just the Mets franchise overall?
Well, I think it was overdue for Doc and Darryl to be recognized by the Mets. They were phenomenal Mets. I know they didn't end their careers there, but I don't care about that. They had incredible moments in Queens, and I think that is really what speaks to the fans who all love those guys. And I applaud the Cohens for embracing Met history the way they have, retiring guys like Jerry Kuzman's number as well. I think that's an important part of, you know, even if a guy isn't in the Hall of Fame, that doesn't mean that your fan base didn't love them passionately. And I feel like that's shown out in the Doc and Darryl retirements. I look forward to for more to come as well. And I think it's a great thing because baseball and history are linked, obviously, and fans love it.
And one more question. The global angle of the sport, I mean, we're going to open up, MLB's going to open up Dodgers and Cubs in Tokyo. Bristol Motor Speedway is also another neutral site for Braves and Reds. And then we also have Williamsport every year. What do you just think about where baseball is going to just have the product just right in the forefront of the global angles of what they're doing, whether they're playing games in Mexico, Puerto Rico, and other countries down the line, and last year in South Korea as well?
I was lucky enough. I covered the Yankees at the Daily News, and I was on their trip to Tokyo in 2004. And I remember it being such an incredible event to see the passion of those baseball fans there, and the idea that they are bringing Major League Baseball to other corners of the globe. And you know, obviously Japan is very passionate about baseball. It's just a wonderful thing. It's a great game. It doesn't matter if it's a traditional game in the country that you live in.
Right.
It's still something that we all can fall for. And you know, I just think that their efforts to expand internationally are phenomenal.